How do parents deal with difficult teens? In this video, we're going to look at how parents deal with difficult teens. Today, we're talking about the most difficult thing a parent can go through, dealing with their teen's behavior. So in this video, I explore what some of the best ways are for dealing with these spirited teenagers without losing your cool or sanity altogether. Please share in the comment section one of your most difficult moments in parenting your teenager and what you did to overcome that situation. Also, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Let me ask you, does this sound familiar? Your teenager is irritable and moody. They spend most of their time in their room, on their phone, with their friends, on social media. You have to demand that your teenager join you and the family in activities such as eating dinner or going places. As soon as they're done, they escape back into their room. Your teen makes snarky comments out of the blue for no reason. When parents ask simple questions are often met with rolling eyes and a head, neck, and hand gesture. Your teen often makes the statement that you are the worst and you are too controlling. As the parent, you feel helpless and hopeless all at the same time. Everything you try seems to only make things worse. You find your teen avoiding you like you have a disease. When your teen walks into the room, you and everyone else can feel the tense energy they bring with them. This is often where parents disagree about what to do. Do you impose a stronger, more strict punishment, or do you lighten up and overlook the behaviors? If you can relate to any of these situations, just know there's hope. There are many things that you can do. But they have to be done a certain way. In order to better understand, there are a few misunderstandings parents often have that need to be pointed out. 1. The behaviors are intentional. As hard as it is to believe, your teenager has very little control over their behavior and attitude. It's important to realize while it may seem like they're being manipulative, this is not on purpose. It's important to remember that your teenager is on a wave of emotions and hormones they have no control over. Your teen's brain is developing, and much of what they do and say is influenced by this. Areas of the brain that control things like self-control, making good decisions, rationale, and other executive types of thinking are just not present or are developing. So the thing you say and tell your teenager are not going to change what is going on inside of them. Number 2, stricter rules and punishment. The natural response for us is to show our teen that when they do behaviors we don't like, there are consequences. This will also teach them a lesson and help with any frustration because other methods haven't been working so far. But I don't think this will be an effective way to handle their behavior. The approach doesn't account for the long-term effects and may not even work in the short term. But punishment is unlikely to make any changes in their behavior or attitude. It's just a temporary solution that might not have much of an effect at all. Unfortunately, punishment can often make a difficult situation even worse. For teens especially, they might just isolate themselves more and have less time with the family where there is at least one parent in their lives to offer some guidance or positive influence. 3. Attempting to make things better through reasoning. The way that you see your teenager does not change them. In other words, it is hard to have insight into what a teenager might be feeling or going through and expect for them to act differently as a result of this knowledge. This is not limited to teens. It's difficult for anyone, even adults, to make changes when they know it will benefit them. That's why people avoid healthy behaviors such as working out and dieting. This isn't just a problem with kids, though they're particularly vulnerable during this time period of their development. However, it's important to be reasonable with your teen. It gives them a way of thinking, handling conflict, and solving problems that will last through adulthood. Here are 4 tips in dealing with teenage attitude and behavior. Number 1, notice what works and do more of that. First off, remember that this is not about you. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, why do I have to go out of my way when you're acting this way after all I've done for you? It's normal to feel this way, but remember this is about helping your teen work toward a better behavior and overall attitude. Here you want to build on the good behaviors and attitudes. By doing this, the good behaviors increase and the bad behaviors decrease. As your teenagers behave and attitude improve, the tension resulting from the bad behaviors and attitude, your home, marriage, and other areas will decrease. Number 2, focus on the good behaviors. Notice the moments and times when your teenager is interacting and talking in a normal tone and volume. Make it a point to interact more with them during this time. Make sure you don't overdo it though. When you focus on the positive moments, the idea is that this will increase the times where your teen's behavior and attitude will be more in line with your expectations. When your teenager is doing good and behaving in a more mature and adult-like manner, don't make a big deal of it in front of everyone. This is when you take a moment when no one is noticing and let them know you are proud of them. If they act in a certain way that is appropriate in a certain situation, let them know they did good and that you are proud of them. The time of having a pleasant teen will increase. The hard part about this is that it takes consistency. Number 3, maintain reasonable consequences. Taking this approach does not mean that consequences for behavior are out of the window. You're still your teenager's parent. There needs to be natural consequences for acting out behaviors and attitudes. However, whatever you decide, losing their phone, loss of electronics, going out with friends, needs to be reasonable. I always say that punishment needs to fit the crime. In other words, if there was a time and the behavior that was out of line, the consequences need to be brief and not punitive. More is not better. Too much can actually make things worse. Number 4, meet in the middle. When you're working with your teen's attitude and behavior, it's important to avoid the "it's my way or the highway" mindset. This leads to a power struggle that is not productive. Teenagers can often feel trapped and like they have no freedom. They often feel that all parents want to do is wreck their life. While this is not true, don't attempt to try and explain your position. It's not likely to make a difference. Trying to explain your position as a parent is not going to change your teenager's perception. Instead, try and put yourself in their shoes. Think of how you and your teenager can meet in the middle on a situation. Doing this will likely increase their cooperation and create a space to communicate and express how they are feeling. It's normal to be concerned about the slippery slope. You may feel like if I give in a little here and a little there, my teenager is going to take a mile. As the parent, you get to decide where you're going to meet in the middle. There are certain things that have to do with your teen's well-being and safety, and this is not an area of compromise. On the other hand, when it comes to things like hairstyle, clothing, this may be an area that you can meet in the middle on or give your teenager room to choose what it is they want. This can actually help in the areas where you have drawn a hard line and need to stand your ground with the limits you have set. I hope this has been helpful. No one said parenting teenagers was easy, but it is possible to raise even the most difficult teenager to be a successful, productive adult that you would be proud of. Just don't ever give up. Please support this channel by subscribing and like this video. Thank you for watching.